Mayuresh, let's broaden this out to other FMCG stocks as well. As we just noticed, HUL is also having a good day. Dabur is, for that matter, up and about. So is Godrej Consumer. So select buying in FMCG basically is continuing. Valuations being lofty. What is the fresh sort of stock purchase that you would make right now, if any at all?
Afternoon, Surabhi. I think all the concerns that even Mr. Dulcin pointed out, I think totally subscribe to that. So the kind of growth because destocking and GST implementation clearly took a hit in terms of Q1 numbers. But restocking has started taking place. And largely, again, I think with good monsoons and expectations of rural spend increasing, I think the volume growth should start picking up meaningfully for a lot of the FMCG players. Having said that, the kind of constrained ad spends that we probably saw over the past few quarters because of demonetization and again the GST implementation, I think the ad spends should start coming back to normalized levels for a lot of FMCG players. And the kind of distribution reach that they're increasing, either directly or indirectly, is going to affect these companies significantly in terms of the volume push through. Yes, raw material prices have moved up significantly, but the pass-through effect is possible and is feasible for these companies going forward as demand slowly and gradually comes back. So I think within the space, I think Emami looks very, very interesting on declines. The kind of mode that they've created around their products, that should hold them in good stead and ensure that the volume growth starts picking up meaningfully for them over the next few quarters. So Emami is something that I'll continue to prefer from the larger FMCG basket.
Okay,
well, Mayuresh, before we sort of say goodbye to you today, if you were to pick this in order of priority, Bajaj Finance, M&M Finance, L&T Finance, and let's also throw in Capital First. Capital First, we spoke to the management just this morning. They're sounding extremely optimistic on the business. If you were to buy an NBFC right now, how would you sort of stack up the pecking order?
Very difficult choice, Surabhi. But again, I think all these NBFCs have done exceptionally well within their areas. Bajaj Finance, exceptional returns. Business of consumer durable financing, I think, has been the landmark for this company, and the way they are growing their businesses, I think that business growth is exponential. If you look at L&T Finance again, the kind of write-downs that they're expected to do post as per origination, I think that will definitely lend us lending support to their fee income growth, which is expected to grow in excess of 30-odd%. We're also probably talking about the goodwill in terms of the subsidiaries actually being used probably to curtail their credit cost to a great deal. And again, in terms of their core ROEs, our own sense is that the ROEs will expand from 13.8% reported in 517 to close to 17.9, 18%. So I think it looks like a very interesting stock as well. M&M Finance again, I think the transition from a 120-day to a 90-day reporting clearly has inflated the GNPAs by 100, 125 odd bits. But that was what the management was expecting as well. But with the rural economy expected to be on a mend and with increased spending expected to come through, again, the loan growth figures for M&M Finance should be quite substantial. Even if one assumes the GNPAs to stay elevated on the 90-day reporting structure over the next few quarters, I think that stock is poised for reasonable growth as well. Similarly, Capital First, my own sense is that with the kind of exposure that they have towards LAP, yes, that becomes a kind of a question mark in terms of how the entire business model probably works. But the LTV probably is very, very attractive even on the LAP side of their portfolio. And the management is very, very conscious in increasing its consumer durable lending book as well. So yes, stacking wise, I think Bajaj Finance obviously is a whole rating. It's one of the top picks within the financial space. But L&T Finance, M&M Finance, I think they follow suit as well. So yes, I think it's a whole rating on all these counters from our side.
Okay, all right, Mayuresh, thanks for joining us on the show today. We will speak to you at another time. Quick break as of now.